For today's review, we're going to be relearning how to write equations, any equation, from a table, from a graph, and from a word problem. To write an equation in 8th grade math, it will always be in y equals mx plus b form. It could also be in y equals kx form, but it's the exact same thing, okay? All right, so let's go over what we know about this. In y equals mx plus b, the m is the slope. Write this down. Also known as, I think I heard somebody. Starts with an R. The rate of change. So if they ask for rate, they're really just asking for slope, yes? All right, what are the clue words for slope? The clue words per, each, every, and. These are all clue words for slope or rate, because slope and rate mean the same thing. What is the B?
The y-intercept.
The y-intercept, also known as the starting point or, nope, one-time phi. It's only at the origin if it starts at the origin, but it does not always start there. So if you are ever asked to write an equation, you will need the slope and y-intercept. You need an m and a b. So would stat work for this? Yes. Stat would work for this, okay? All right, so let's go back over slope and y-intercept. We actually went over this right before spring break. Slope is also known as the rate of change. You can find slope by doing rise over run, or the slope formula, or stat. And in a word problem, you're just looking for those clue words of per, each, every, and. For y-intercept, it's also known as the starting point or one-time phi. It is where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, so there's lots of ways to look for this. All right, I didn't put a lot of examples on here, but one example that I did put on here is where they give you an equation and they want you to match it to one of these tables. So looking at this equation, where do y'all think y'all could put this at? In y equals. So everybody go to y equals. If there's anything in there, you clear it out, and we're going to put in negative 3x plus 2. Now, where could I go to look for this kind of thing? Second, look above the word graph. Second table. That's just going to give me a table of coordinates, yes? Now can I match to see which one this goes with? When x is negative 1, what should y be?
Negative 5.
Positive 5.
Oh, I'm thinking it.
Okay, so is A a correct answer? No. Could B and C be the answer based off of that? Yes. Now we're going to go check when x is 0, y is 2. That is correct. When x is 1, y is negative 1. That's correct. But when x is 2, what does y need to be? Negative 4. So what is the correct answer? C. Now, you go to y equals. You type that in. And then you go to the table, so second graph. Now, could I have also used stat and put every single one of these in to see which one would give me this? Yes, that would have just taken more work because I would have had to do it 3 times. So I always go with the shortest way, which was to put this in y equals. But either way would have worked correctly, yes? Okay, now, not all of the questions are going to look like that today. Some of them are going to give you a graph and say make an equation. You can use stat, you can use rise over run, stuff like that, okay? Now flip to the back. Let's talk about how to write an equation from these words. Are y'all ready? How would I write y is? Y equals 5 more than 5 plus the product of x and 4. What does product mean? Multiply. So how would I multiply 4 times x? Just 4x. Yes?
How do you know it's X?
Because it said the product of x.
Oh.
All right, try to do the next one without me real quick, but don't forget about less than. Y'all remember less than? What do we do?
Subtract.
But what do? We subtract, but we switch their spot. Did y'all do it? All right, how do you write y is? Y equals 4 less than. Switch their spots. Okay, so we switch their spots. So instead of saying 4 minus, it is something minus 4. Okay? And the product of x and 6 is 6x. Now, could I put these in my y equals button and make a table? Yes or no? I need y'all to listen. Could I put this in my y equals button and make a table? Yes. So look, if I go to y equals and I clear that out, I could put in 5 plus 4x and I could go to a table. Yes? Could I graph that? Yes, so you're going to be doing that today. Now let me show you on your assignment what some of the questions look like. So everybody look, and I'm showing you on my computer, look at number 1. Can y'all see this? It says, which function is graphed below? It is a graph. Look at the answer choices. What form are these in? Y equals mx plus b. Are y'all listening to me? This is the slope. This is the y-intercept. Now, could I use stat to make an equation out of this? Yes, but if you want to use stat, you have to make a table, like an x and y box. So I would go like this. I would say here's a dot. What's it at on the x-axis? 0. Where am I at on the y-axis? 6. And then I would say here's a dot. Where am I at on the x-axis? 4. Where am I at on the y-axis? 3. Could I now use stat to make an equation? Now, is stat going to give me my answers in fractions or decimals? It's going to give it to me in decimals, so I just got to either change it to a fraction or change those. Now, is there another way I could do this? Rise over run. I could have said, hey, look, the rise is 3, the run is 4. And is it going up or down? From left to right? Down. So my slope is negative 3/4. What's my y-intercept? Where is it touching the y-axis? 6. So there's my answer. So that is another way that you can do this. Okay? It is up to you whether or not you use stat or you do rise over run and just y-intercept. Question?
What would you say is the most efficient?
Stat will never fail you because you won't forget the negative sign. I use slope and y-intercept because it's faster. Okay, so it is up to you. If you know you're going to forget the negative sign, absolutely use stat. Okay, now Now, what about a question like this? Look at the answer choices. What form are they in? What form are these in? Y equals mx plus b. Could I just use stat? Absolutely. I would only use stat on that one. Okay? Because it will write an equation for you. Look at this one. Everybody look, because I'm not going to help you in a minute. Could I use stat on every single answer choice? Yes. Is that going to take a little bit of time? So could I just write an equation out of this? Y is, you see, look at it, Y is 3 more than, and then put that in Y equals, like we just did on our notes. Yes?
I had one of those questions on my TSI practice.
Now this one, that one's just where you're using clue words. Do you see a clue word next to 25? No. Do you see a clue word next to 1050? Yes. What's the clue word? So the 1050 gets the X, or the variable. If they don't use X, they might use W. Okay, it gets the X. So y'all know how to do this, yes? Okay, go to the Google Classroom. I will post the assignment. I will check your answers one time.